Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Monica Rinze, it's my name, where we discuss disability awareness, inclusion, and empowerment. In today's episode, we will dive into understanding physical disabilities. We will talk about what physical disabilities are, their types, challenges faced by individuals, and how we can create a more inclusive society. Sit back and let's discuss and listen to what I'm going to talk about today. So we'll start looking at what are physical disabilities. When it says physical, something you can see, you know. So physical disabilities refers to conditions that affects person's mobility, dexterity, or physical functioning. These conditions can be present from birth, caused by illness, or result from injury. For example, now, I being disabled, being a person with disability, was not caused by birth. Rather, it was caused by an accident, which linked to what? An illness. So a physical disability may limit how a person moves, perform tasks, or interact with the environment, but it doesn't define their abilities, dreams, or potentials. Yes, you see many persons with disability, they're president of their countries, they're employers, they're medical doctors, they're businessmen and women, doing a whole lot of things, contributing to this world to be a better place. So now, common types of physical disabilities. We're talking about physical, okay? We're talking about what? Physical. When something is physical, how? So we're going to look at the common types of disability. The commonest type of it you can think of, or the common type, is mobility impairment. How can we explain this or define it? We look at the mobility impairment as conditions that impact movement and coordination. Examples: paraplegia, paralysis of the lower body; quadriplegia, paralysis of all four limbs; and muscular dystrophy. These things are spinal cord injury, sustained injury, and impairment. So whenever you hear somebody is paraplegia, is most times caused through spinal cord injury. Other sicknesses can actually cause this, like stroke and other related sicknesses that can impair someone's mobility. So how are you going to support this? You support this with wheelchairs, clutches, canes, and orthotic devices. That's how you can support those people. And this is making them being inclusive. This is also helping them to move around, to gain independence. Then the next part, the second part, is limb loss or differences. The congenital, some of them are from birth. You see some persons, they are born without their limbs, or acquire limb differences due to injury or illness. This is physical. See somebody born with them with one hand, the other they born some other person, they were born without hands. Some they were born without their lower limbs. So examples: amputation or condition like phocomelia, underdeveloped limbs. You see them from childbirth and they still grow to their adult stages. This how do you support these people? How do you support this kind of person? It's through what? Prosthetic limbs and assistive devices. For person with disability, we cannot talk less of assistive devices because it assists us. Then we'll look at the third part, the neurological conditions. Neurological conditions. Whenever we hear anything neuron, our first um thought goes to brain and spine and nerves is not out of place if reason in that line, because the definition is disorder that affects the brain, spinal cord, or nerves, impacting physical functioning. For me, I always use myself to incite and many other people. I'm a spinal cord injured person, and you see, it impacted in my physical functioning that I cannot use my lower limbs. Then another example is multiple sclerosis, MX, or cerebral palsy, Parkinson disease. How can you support these people? Physical therapy. You support these people with physical therapy, mobility aids, and medication. We have another part, chronic and fatigue condition. Are you shocked? Have you seen many people that are very fat, like very fat people? Do you know they go through a whole lot of pains? So condition that causes persistent pain or fatigue, limiting physical activity. So there's some there because they're very fat, they can't actually walk well. Even their breathing is also affected. Is it their breathing, their respirations, their the way they breathe also affects their health condition or affects everything that has to do with their physical condition. So example is fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, and arthritis. Yes. In this part of the world, many women, when they are getting older, they scream, oh, I'm having arthritis, I'm having this pain and all that. So it's also part of it. Then other physical disabilities, there are many of them: spinal bifida, the brittle bone diseases fall under these categories, and a whole lot. So these are the types of physical disability. And then we're going to look at the challenges faced by people with physical disabilities. What are the challenges? The challenges person with disability faces with the challenges faced by person with physical disability is accessibility barriers. Do we have that? Yes. In this part of the world, we suffer this a whole lot, because many places are not accessible. You have an uprising without a lift, you have a staircase without a ramp. All these causes accessibility barriers. Like I say, lack of ramps, elevators, accessible transportation. Because it's not easy. Me, for one, whenever I'm going out or any other person, you have to fold your wheelchair inside the car. But if we have accessible transportation, you don't need to do that. While in your wheelchair, you will inside the car, like in the Western world. Again, inaccessible public spaces can make it difficult to navigate daily life. Going to bank, going to public places has caused these barriers a lot. And in the time to come, we'll talk about the solution to it. Then we'll now look at employment discrimination. Misconception about capabilities often lead to fewer job opportunities for individuals with physical disability. In this area, I will tell you, many of us have suffered employment discrimination. Very, very well. A couple of times, I've gotten a job, I've been discriminated, not once, not twice, even after giving an offer later. So another one is healthcare inequities. Limited access to specialized care or equipment like wheelchairs or prostheses in some regions. This is also the challenges we face. So many persons are not able to afford wheelchairs or their prostheses. And the health inequalities will not allow this. This is also the barriers we are talking about. Then social stigma. Oh my God. No matter the height you attain as a person with disability, that social stigma is there in their mind. People will still have that thing, even your friends, So negative stereotypes and pity often overshadow respect and inclusion. People see you as a pity object. Meanwhile, you are living your life. One thing with disability is never say never. It's not a brag, but it's never say never. Another one, in fact, the one that we can never talk without, we cannot deal without, financial challenges. In this part of the world, is this paramount. Cost of medical care, assistive devices, or home modification can be significant. You can't do those things without money. Couple person not being able to secure a job or have something that is earning a daily living is really, really one of the big challenges. Yes, there's a whole lot of empowerment going on to see that person with disability have something. You can learn some soft skills, remote work, another physical thing someone can do, or even secure a physical job. Okay, so we'll look at how people with physical disability navigate daily life. In spite of the challenges, did they navigate life? Yes. Did they cope? Yes. Do they see life in a different way? Yes. So, because apart from talking about the challenges, the most important thing is that how do you cope with the challenges? So now, first of all, is assistive technologies. We'll talk about wheelchairs. I use a wheelchair, scooters, braces, and prosthetics help improve mobility. Because for me now, when I'm doing my physiotherapy and I need to stand up, I'll use I'll use braces to. And other people can use scooter. So now, voice activated devices and adaptive keyboard assist with daily tasks. For person that is quadriplegic that cannot type or could not type, having a voice activated devices and adapted keyboards can assist them in their daily tasks. Then we'll look at the second part, accessible design. Accessible housing. In this part of the world, it's not accessible housing. There is no accessible housing. And most times, when the landlord knows that you're a person with disability and they need to access the house or modernize the house to put ramp, because of the money to spend to put this ramp, they will deny you giving you the house. But some other persons who understand what disability is, they modernize the house to suit the person. So accessible design, accessible housing, workplace accommodations, and universal design principle enable greater independence. So for work environment, it need to be modernized to suit person with disability physically and otherwise. Then we'll now look at again community and peer support. Community and peer support. Disability organization, support groups, and advocacy network provide essential resources and encouragement. I'll tell you that this help a whole lot, and there is a whole lot of peer support group, and I encourage anyone that you can actually create a support group, even if it's a unit cells, where you have a direct contact, you discuss things. It helps a whole lot. That's how people navigate life with physical disabilities. Then the second part is adaptability and resilience. I think this is one of the good skills or attributes or gifts person Anybody living with disability has resilience. Many individuals develop innovative ways to overcome obstacles, turning challenges into opportunities. I will tell you, many persons with disability that are doing a whole lot in this community and in the world at large. They've used the position, life has thrown lemon and they turn it to lemonade. So that's one of the things I can tell you. Adaptability and resilience is a way to navigate life as a physical disability person, which I'm also part of it. Then how different regions address physical disability. We will mean different regions. We mean developed countries and developing countries. But we'll look at developed countries. The US, the UK, and Canada have laws like the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, that mandates accessibility in public spaces, workplaces, and transportations. So they have a law which is guiding them, which is making them move above the time. So advanced assistive technologies and healthcare services enhance independence. They ensure this. I have my wheelchair. I have my medical insurance covering me. I'll be independent. I'm healthy. I can move around. What else is going to stop me when you're in the developed world? But in developing countries, many African and Asian countries face resource constraints, leading to limited access to assistive devices and inclusive infrastructure. This is where we are, even here in Nigeria as well. But, however, advocacy efforts are growing, promoting accessibility and awareness. I can tell you in Nigeria there is a whole lot of awareness, because different disability, like spinal cord injury, they have their spinal cord injury day internationally on September 5th. It is a day of awareness and advocacy, and even beyond that day, the awareness and advocacy continues, and also in promoting accessibility and awareness. And also me doing this teaching and this training is also a way of creating my own awareness. It's also a way of advocacy, and it's also of inclusiveness. So that is one of a way. So this is also another part is developing countries, as I was saying, that many African and Asian countries face resource restraint leading to limited access to assistive devices and inclusive infrastructure. And however, advocacy continues. So, as an individual, what are you doing? You as a person with disability, what are you doing? You as a person without disability, what are you doing to this cause? That's one of the things you ask yourself. What are you doing to this cause? How you can help matters. This is this is a course for all of us, for us to see that we have an inclusive and adaptable system for person with disability, physical disability, and any other type of disability. So how can you help? Advocate for accessibility. Today I'm lending my voice to you. You're learning what this thing is. When you're building your house, make it accessible. Even if you don't have person with disability in your family, in your community, make that house accessible. Support universal design in buildings, websites, and public transports. It's very difficult in this part of the world for people to transport themselves from point A to point B when you're a person with disability. And another one, challenge stereotypes. I had a friend who is more of she's a lecturer. But no matter how her intellectual, No matter how she puts herself out there, they still look down on her because of what? She's a person with disability. So treat people with disability with respect and dignity. They are created by the same God that created you. But at least make things inclusive and respect them. Support local and global organizations, yes. Donate to or volunteer with groups that provide resources, advocacy for individuals with physical disabilities, and ensure that those things get to them. Support the group. Even if it's a volunteer work, support. You're also helping out. And again, learn and educate. Yes. What I'm doing today, I want you to share the thought with people. I want you to share what you learn about physical disability to promote understanding and inclusion. Share with people. Oh, look at this YouTube channel. See what he's talking about. Share the thoughts. Share the ones you have with me. Ask questions. With that, we can go very far. With that, we can... Why doing this? We are helping out. That's how we can help and support each other. And my final thought is, like today we talked about physical disabilities, the different types of it, the challenges and how to cope, and how you and I can actually help. Physical disability are just one aspect of human diversity. Yes, it's just one aspect. Diversity, that's so plenty, that's so much. So physical disability is just one out of the billions and thousands of it out there that are still going to come out. With the right tools, support, and social inclusion, individuals with physical disability can lead fulfilling and independent lives. Together we can create a world that is accessible and welcoming for everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me. Don't forget to make a comment and also subscribe, and also continue to watch my channel for more content about disability awareness and advocacy. If you have any question, like I said before, feel free to ask me. We are here to learn and to share our ideas together. This is your girl with the vibe and positive vibe, Monica Arinze. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.